Do you guys know what elite theory is?
Elite theory is a theory that holds that a minority of people known as the elite control politics and power in a given state.
Yes, and we can relate it to the art world by relating it to power, structure, society's norms and citizen apathy.
There are many art movements that express this theory. Let us show you some realism, German expressionism, pop art, and social issues that will help portray this theory.
As you will see, artists as long ago as 1863 tried to show society what we were, but it was ignored and disparity has only gotten worse.
In The Third Class Carriage, Honor Dormier addresses oppression and alienation caused by the French elite during the mid-19th, as well as the desperation of rapidly growing group of bourgeois to attain the luxuries that the elite enjoy and be accepted as one.
Daumier came from a humble background, and although he wanted to be considered a fine artist and be accepted by the elite, his artwork critiqued the very class he so desperately wanted to join.
Daumier captured the plight of the drab working class through a moment in their everyday lives. He made a distinct contrast inside the carriage between the rural poor and bourgeois. In the foreground is a family of four, a group that is isolated and goes unnoticed by the other passengers, whose appearance indicates a higher status than that of the family.
The elite create separations among the lower classes so that the oppression continues. Those that are a part of the low class are kept oppressed and separated from the others, while the middle class is in competition with each other to reach higher status.
In contemporary society, the division between classes still exists. However, as Daumier points out in Third Class Carriage, the possibility of becoming an elitist is far out of their reach. This is why Daumier's artwork is a good example of the elite oppressing the classes beneath them.
This next piece is about Germany.
Tension rose between the German citizens and their government after World War I.
Bitterness toward Germany's leaders arose with humiliation brought by the terms of the Treaty of Versailles and the stress of extreme inflation inflicted on the already devastated country.
While focusing the fault in the direction of the German government and bourgeoisie, they looked toward communism for salvation. The feelings of betrayal toward the military-industrial machine that was thought to lead Germans into the war with ill motives were illustrated by German expressionist artists such as George Grosz.
Grosz identifies the power structures in place found in clergymen, militia and educators. Being supported and molded by these authoritative figures sits the ideal citizen, obviously oblivious to the chaos and malicious forces that surround him.
Grosz's painting is an attempt to publicize the corrupt political, religious and educational systems put into place in fear of being led into another unnecessary war.
Drugstore by Robert Frank highlights the separation present between races during the time period of segregation. An artificial class was created below whites.
Why not a different race? These humans were subject to different living conditions simply because of the color of their skin.
Paid minimum wage, the drugstore employees are trapped behind the counter while serving whites in a restaurant that they themselves were not allowed to eat at.
Taken as a candid shot, it is unstaged and presents a reality of what the country was at the time.
Everything plays a critical role in the culture found in the picture.
Campbell's Soup Cans by Andy Warhol embraced popular culture, consumerism and mass production, but we also look to it as a testament to a time when family and cultural dynamics were changing.
The soup cans represent a new era of mass-produced canned and frozen foods. Meals that used to require hours of shopping and preparation now took 5 minutes to prepare at a fraction of the price, which initially felt great. But the long-term result was not what Campbell's intended.
Repetition, boredom and depression set in across middle-class America. We now know that these convenient foods are less healthy than the fresh ingredients and they can be addictive.
In 2013, what we have now is a product that was meant to be Convenient has caused many problems, mostly for lower-income families where the middle and upper class are now back to eating healthier fresh-made meals.
The result is a class of people eating food that is making them sick, because it's all they can afford, and then being told that they're not healthy and potentially need treatment, only to realize that we live in a society in which they are priced not only out of the quality food market, but also the healthcare market as well.
But both Campbell's and health insurance companies profit in the billions, and unless forced to do so by law won't be changing their models anytime soon. This is why soup cans is a good example of elitists putting their profit and power over the well-being of society as a whole.